She walks past you like you're invisible. Her texts are cold, delayed, calculated. Her eyes avoid yours, but you catch her glancing when she thinks you're not looking. She laughs a little too loudly at someone else's joke, smiles a little too brightly in a group just to show you she's fine, without you. But deep down, beneath the masks and the games, she's thinking about you more than you know. This is the silent obsession no one talks about. And today, we're going to break it down, not with desperation, but with the calm, grounded wisdom of Stoicism. Because the moment you understand female psychology through the lens of Stoic philosophy, you stop chasing and start attracting. 1. The illusion of indifference. Many men crumble under the pressure of a woman's coldness. They see her silence as rejection, her distance as disinterest. But Stoicism teaches us not to judge by appearances. Just as the Stoics would stand firm against storms, you too must stand firm in emotional uncertainty. Her indifference may not be real. It might be a test, a shield, or a signal. Women, especially high-value women, often pretend not to care when they care the most. Why? Because vulnerability is terrifying, and because the moment she shows you too much, she gives away her power. But the Stoic man is not concerned with games. He is grounded in truth, not in illusions. 2. The power of non-reaction. When you chase, you push her away. When you react emotionally, you lose your center. But when you remain composed, unmoved by her silence, unbothered by her distance, something magical happens. She starts to wonder. She starts to question. Your stillness becomes a mirror, and she sees her own emotional chaos reflected in it. The Stoic man does not fight for validation. He validates himself through his actions, values, and purpose. And that unshakable calm, that's what draws her in. She pretends she doesn't care, but every time you don't flinch, every time you remain calm, she feels it deeply. 3. She's watching your every move. Never assume she's not watching. Even in silence, women observe. She may not like your post. She may not reply to your message, but she checks your story, remembers your words, studies your energy. She's noticing when you level up, when you grow, when you become a man of discipline and depth. Stoicism teaches us not to parade our accomplishments, but to live in quiet excellence. So live in such a way that even your absence speaks loudly. Let her feel the void your presence once filled, not through words, but through the weight of your evolution. The paradox of feminine obsession. Here's the paradox. The more you pull away with purpose, the more she leans in with emotion. Women become obsessed not with the man who begs, but with the man who breathes mystery, the man who has a mission. The Stoic man is hard to read, not because he's playing games, but because he's too focused to play. He doesn't post to get her attention. He doesn't text to win her approval. He lives in alignment with his virtues, courage, discipline, wisdom, and justice. And ironically, this depth is what ignites her obsession. She can't stop thinking about the man she couldn't control. 5th, control versus connection. A Stoic doesn't seek to control how others feel. He understands that desire is a fire that consumes those who lack discipline. If she's meant to come closer, she will. If not, his peace remains untouched. True attraction is born in the space between pressure and presence. Be present, but never press. Be warm, but never needy. Be interested, but not invested in the outcome. This mindset is power, and that power is magnetic. 6. When she returns, stay centered. When she does return, and she often will, it won't be with fireworks. It'll be subtle, a random comment, a like, a question about your life. This is where most men collapse. They rush back, full of emotion, and lose all the ground they gained. But the Stoic remains centered. He doesn't punish her absence, nor does he reward her attention. He simply observes, responds with intention, and continues his path. She respects this Because deep down, she doesn't want a boy seeking her approval. She wants a man who stands firm with or without her. 7. Your greatest power, purpose. The most attractive thing to a woman, especially one who pretends not to care, is a man consumed by purpose. When your days are full, your body disciplined, your mind sharp, you become rare, and rarity breeds value. Your purpose must always come before her. That's not cold, it's necessary. Because the moment you put a woman above your mission, you lose both. But when your mission comes first, the right woman will either align with it or be left behind. And either outcome serves your destiny. 8. Observe her, but master yourself. It's tempting to try and decode her behavior, her texts, her tone, her patterns. But the more energy you invest in her, the less you invest in you. And here's the truth: you don't need to understand her. You need to understand yourself. Master your habits, heal your wounds, build your kingdom. When you become so immersed in your own growth, her games lose their power. You stop reacting, you start attracting, and she will feel that shift. 9. She does care, but does it matter? Here's the final question. Even if she's secretly obsessed with you, does it matter if you lose yourself in the process? A Stoic never makes another person the center of his universe. He loves, yes, he feels, absolutely. But he never becomes enslaved by desire. If she cares, that's beautiful. If not, that's acceptable. Your peace must remain constant. Your self-respect must be non-negotiable. Because true power comes not from being wanted, but from being whole. So the next time she pretends not to care, don't panic, don't chase, don't overthink. Smile inwardly, observe her actions, but remain unmoved. Let her mystery unfold, not through force, but through your stillness. Be the calm in the storm. Be the man she can't predict. And above all, be the man who doesn't need her attention to feel complete. That's the Stoic path. That's real power. And in that silence, she will feel everything she pretends not to.